this is Georgia with Creative Moments by G. Today we're going to work with a stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Painted Harvest. And it is just in time for the holiday season. Look at the card we made. Isn't that beautiful? We just really love it. It's a sunflower, it has some ferns, it has some green leaves. And here's another option that you could work with. It looks like an envelope, but it's not. We did the birch stamp behind. So pretty. So let's head over to the design table and let's get started. We are using Painted Harvest today for our project, and it's so beautiful because it's a double stamp. You stamp your sunflower twice and your leaves twice to give you that added dimension. And the sentiments are so beautiful. Your kindness means so much, more than you will ever know. I am thankful for you. Gather together and give thanks. I mean, how beautiful is that? You can find this in our catalog on page 128, and the Painted Harvest stamp set only costs $21. Now, you can also buy in conjunction with that a leaf punch that punches out these leaves if you don't want a fussy cut. But I just tend to fussy cut for a little while anyway. So, the dimensions that you're going to need today, you'll need a base card that is 4 by 5.5. You're going to need a first mat that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need your second mat, 3 1/2 by 5. And then we're going to be working with several stamps. We have crushed curry, Cajun Craze, and old olive. So the first thing we need to do is I like to go ahead and just get our first mat down. So we are going to use our glue from Stampin' Up! I really like this glue. A little bit goes a long way. If I could pick it up, get that lined up. And remember, it can grab even though it lets you position it a little bit. And this is going to be a fold like this. So we have it positioned down. Next thing we need to do is we need to stamp. So we're going to take our top mat. And this is a 2-dimensional, and here are what the stamps, I've used them so much, they're colors, but the color really isn't on there. So the first one, you always use the lightest one. We're going to use crushed curry. And this is the first one that you put down. It's a solid stamp. We're going to stamp it off. See how, oh, that's great. Okay. So we're going to stamp it right there in the corner. And then we're going to put this one down here. Okay, perfect. Then we're going to grab our Cajun Craze for our top stamp. Okay. Let's see how that works. Oh, lovely. And to give it more dimension, we're just going to kind of twist it a little bit. Hold it down. Oh, I like that added dimension that it gives it. Really just adds the depth to the flower, doesn't it? Look at that. It's so, so pretty. Now, the next thing we have to do, we need to get our soft suede because that's the middle part of the flower. What we're going to do is, see, that's a little too dark, so you want to make sure and stamp it off. Okay, so it's the second stamp. See, just like that. You don't want to get the middle too dark. Okay, perfect. And now I think I'm going to keep for the little middle part, I'm going to go ahead and use this, and I'm not going to stamp it off. And that'll just give me my little dots. Oh, that's perfect. You can see them. It's a little darker. Okay. So we have to move into our ferns now. And on this, they have the leaves and the ferns, and it's also a two-step process. So I like the ferns, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to get the fern out, and I am just going to use the one with the dimension. I'm just going to use the second one. So I'm going to open up the old olive, and I am going to just stamp, make sure, stamp off. Oh, yes. We're going to stamp right here. Perfect. Now you can use this two-step process as well on this, but I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a light one right there. Just kind of a shadow. But I think for this, I'm just going to use this top one. Okay. I'm going to stamp one more, but this is a little lighter. So I'll put it right there. Next, we're going to add the Your Kindness sentiment, and I'm going to stick with the theme and do it in Old Olive. Stamping it off first to make sure. Oh, I love that Old Olive color. It's just so pretty. So now we're ready to glue this down on our card. We use some wet glue. Oh, I just love how the colors, the matting just really complements the colors that we selected. We need a little bow right here to just top it off. You need really sharp scissors to cut this twine. So there it is. It's going to look like that. We are going to use our mini glue dots. Tiny little glue dots. So we'll just pick that up. And we'll put it down about right there. Isn't that pretty? Like I said before, I just love those colors. Now, I always like to stamp something on the inside. So we're going to go ahead and just stamp some ferns. Keep them dark. Top, just like that, just a little stamp. And then finally, we want to stamp our envelope. Oh my goodness. Envelopes are just beautiful when the back is stamped. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use our top part of our sunflower with the dimension in it. And let's get some, we'll just be stamping it off. You need to put some paper down though, so that you can mask it off just a little bit on the sides. It won't hurt when you stamp. Okay. Now, you know, what's great about these stamps is you really don't have to do them in order. You can put the bottom one on. I think we need some crushed curry on there. So let's just go ahead and try that. You know, sometimes you get to crafting and you're like, oh, I think it needs a little something. Let's try that. Oh, that's it. That did it. It was just that little something it needed. Okay, now we will add just a few ferns. Okay, and I'm going to stamp off just maybe one down here, just a little hint of a fern. Maybe one up at the top. There we have it. Now let's do the big reveal. Let's take out our paper. Look at that. Don't forget, we need to add the middle part. Okay, I'm going to stamp off so it's not too dark. Oh, yes. Oops, we don't want to accidentally mark up our envelope. There we go, just a little bit right there. Perfect. Now we need our little dots on the inside. We'll get those. Just barely. Perfect. Ah, there we go. What do you think? Isn't that a nice special touch? Well, here's our card we made earlier, and this is the one we made just right now. So beautiful. I think the colors are just perfect.